Unlock your full potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega, beetroot, nature's Unlock your full potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Your Jamaican brother all the way in Switzerland. And I'm reaching out to all of our brothers and sisters on the African continent. You're tuning into the Black Hot Fire Radio, and you're listening to the Pan-African Bliss Show with your host, none other than Killer Mo. Enough respect.
Yeah. How you moving on the pole, how you buy, you know how we do. Bado tunawapa pressure, na sukari zote zinapanda juu. Ndogo how you moving on the pole, how you buy, you know how we do. Bado tunawapa pressure, na sukari zote zinapanda juu. I'm so woke like a bulldog. Dope lines kinda push coco. Isindo what nasumbua kwa soko. Man, I'm all up in your face, sky look up and DJ slow. Niggas trying to test me, Missy Jolly Mock. You can put me in a box, you can lock down. When you pull up with the light, niggas smoking. My wrong side of us, it got everybody talking. But nigga bonus I did the job for roll dice. We can really sally niggas studio 2 for 4 nights. If you ever booking on the online, family first, everything is alright. It's my legendary face, you can see it in my repertoire. Bush at my beat, and I put in the jacket. Grown man shit, keep you in my trust. I'm an amateur, I'm a little bit of a local. How you moving on the pole, how you buy, you know how we do. Bado tunawapa pressure, na sukari zote zinapanda juu. Ndogo, how you moving on the pole, how you buy, you know how we do. Bado tunawapa pressure, na sukari zote zinapanda juu. Ndogo on toes ni kuchuga fully loaded na mwanangu leo tunachana kambuga kata alipiga simu faster minka itabeba na nikajipin na msuba yeah so why you hating brother punguza kelele au acha wivu kamedi wacha kagere vile na wabeba milo kadere una tabia za gedere block is hot nimewaka nazidisha fracas hunting ile jango na waachia makaka silly rappers naifanya proper lyrics muhimu everything niko na purpose in family nazidisha upendo. Every season we raise the tempo. Na kwa wanangu wa kitaa huku sasa. Ndogo tutafika tunapofika. Ndogo how you moving on the pole, how you buy, you know how we do. Bado tunawapa pressure, na sukari zote zinapanda juu. Ndogo how you moving on the pole, how you buy, you know how we do. Bado tunawapa pressure, na sukari zote zinapanda juu. Ndogo tuspoteze mbu. Suki chini atandilie tuju. Talking chini sata naenda kudu. Jeshi ya koto imehamia huku hood. Alipad nimeroka mino customer wanzasa. Kigoni angasa bizi skits za anasa. Kibochi kinena swa haputa naswa. Anwa kiko yote inaka imetandazi. Komandas makali na jaba. Ganja unifanyanga niko sefaba. Ama labda una vibes kenda ukasikie pama. By hunters na expect hata tambla. Mambo kabla pretension ni pressure. Later disababa business pata pemba. Leo tuko busy tukilala bado pesa.
Good afternoon, family. Grand Rising. Hope you guys are doing amazing. This wonderful Friday morning. 31 minutes past the top of the hour, and of course, karibuni sana to another beautiful episode of the Pan-African Bliss Show. This is the media of the 21st century, the Black of Fire Network radio station. I go by the name JOBY. To the first-time listeners on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, to the returning listeners on the radio station. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Hope you're looking forward to having a beautiful, beautiful Friday and a beautiful weekend. I see Unsunken One early and up in the morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you're doing amazing today and hope you are ready for the conversation. Well, we shall be talking about the ancient wisdom of the African shamans, and I'll be sharing literally a little bit of a video of this, and this is actually connected with some of the still spiritual events or cultures we still see very active in Africa. I was to share about the Benin big festivals that most of the white people actually go and pay so much money to go see this, which today they call it witchcraft. Of course, they have managed Africans to understand that this is witchcraft. But if you look at actually our ways or the ancient ways of living, this was spiritual ways of actually living. This was healing. This was all connected to knowledge, all connected to wisdom, and actually also made us connect as a people. I'll be sharing also another festival coming from Burkina Faso. As we see Burkina Faso actually rising economically, they're also rising spiritually. So I love to see actually the fact that they're still very active, practicing their cultures and traditions. But along that, shall also talk about, of course, the events that still took over. That was on 30th of March. You remember we had the Italy's prime minister some time back who came ahead and accused France of the things or the crimes they're committing in Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. And of course, connecting all these dots and what has been happening literally currently, we've seen the massive support. Of course, videos are popping out now. There's so many videos that have been released. So many people turned out in plenty, in numbers, to support Ibrahim Traore. And I love the courage that actually Africans have. But along that, we should also talk about what is happening in DRC, Congo. Of course, the wars are still going on despite the peace talks. We know these peace talks, there's nowhere where they head with these puppets. If you don't have an Ibrahim Traore, there's nowhere where this peace talk actually ever head. So it's all just for the media. It's all for the people to see they're trying to make something work, but it doesn't work. So as we get started, actually, I want to share this particular details about DRC Congo. Of course, this country is full of resources globally, the most richest country in the world. If you talk about gold, if you talk about cobalt, if you talk about iron, if you talk about actually all the resources, DRC Congo is plenty blessed. So is all the African continent, but DRC has massive, endless of wealth. But of course, little do they know, actually, of course, because of the wealth that has been extracted, they have continuously been extracting in DRC Congo. I didn't know that actually the cobalt that actually is mined and exploited in this country has the capability or capacity of actually supplying power in the whole of the African continent. If the resources were used well, of course, Congo, or DRC Congo to be specific, has the capacity to supply the whole of Africa with constant electricity. We should not be facing any blackout. If we had literally working presidents and working politicians managing our resources how they're supposed to, we would literally be able to do all this. But as we get into it directly, they're saying that the Democratic Republic of Congo has the capacity to supply the whole of Africa with constant electricity through the Congo River, which actually is very, very big. But let me share these details, then I'm going to read as we continue.
There are a few places on the planet where rivers run as fast and as hard as the Congo does here as it approaches the sea. A hydroelectric power station built here could provide electricity for the whole of Africa. It would produce twice as much power as any other hydro plant on Earth. That is how rich the Congo could be if the resources were put to good use. For centuries, the Democratic Republic of the Congo has had its resources plundered and has been ravaged by war. The DRC is the size of Western Europe. We're following the river from the Atlantic Ocean to its furthest reaches. Passing through its chaotic capital city, Kinshasa, you can choose where you'd like to go. Explore its history, life on the river, visit the war-torn East, meet rare gorillas, and find out just how rich this country could be.
Exactly, and I'm going to share another video as we literally get to expand a little bit on that conversation to see the capability this river actually has. This we're talking about literally the universe giving us all the resources we need. Why do we need the white people constantly always showing up here to show us the direction? We just need proper leaders who are on the right mindset of managing resources. This is just so crazy. Actually, for being honest, this did touch my heart. I'm like, hold on. DRC Congo has the capability of powering the whole of the African continent. It is crazy and super amazing at the same time to see. I mean, look at the structure. So here we have the photos. I don't know if you guys can see well, but I do bet so. You see the structure of the river, how the source literally runs. Sorry about that. Let me go back. How the river source literally how it is, streaming, how it is flowing. It is nice to see. So if you really had Skedi and the rest of the African puppets, if they collaborate and work together and manage our resources very well, we'd not be facing none of this. But let me share another video as we get to continue. See I want to find something that explains it very well. See how capable or the capability this river has. And it's crazy. Always white people are the ones who the ones who are always telling us most of this information. But let me share this one. You see.
Imagine a river so powerful that it will light up an entire continent. This is the potential of the Congo River, as Africa's second largest river, with one of the highest water discharges in the world. The Congo.
Yeah, it's Africa's second largest river. So you can see the number one capability reason of why it has the ability of generating power to that capacity.
Has untapped energy reserves that could transform the Democratic Republic of Congo and neighboring countries. The Inga Dams project, for instance, aims to harness these force.
I can't hear the guy very well, but let me find another one. Let me see if I can share a quick video as we get to continue. Very well explained. Let's see this one. Of course, they try exploiting it as well. So let's see this one.
The Congo River is the most powerful river in Africa and the second largest in the world by discharge volume, second only to the Amazon, pouring an average of 42,000 cubic meters of water into the ocean every second. It is also the deepest river in the world, sinking 220 meters at certain points, and the ninth longest, stretching 4,700 kilometers across the Democratic Republic of Congo. Unsurprisingly, the river has enormous hydropower potential. It is estimated a total of 100 gigawatts of hydro capacity could be installed along the river. And of this potential, 40% comes from a single site. 220 kilometers southwest of Kinshasa, the DRC's capital and the second most populous city in Africa, lies a stunning natural feature. Over the course of 14 kilometers, the Congo River rapidly falls 96 meters in elevation, producing the world's single largest and most powerful rapid, Inga Falls. Every second, 40 gigajoules of mechanical energy pass through it, enough to power roughly 30 million American homes. The potential of this impressive feature has been recognized for decades. In the 1950s, Belgian colonizers realized the site's potential for hydropower, and in 1957, the Belgian cabinet approved construction of a series of power stations along the rapid. Still though, funding was an issue pushing back construction. Then, on June 30th, 1960, Congo won its independence, and the Belgian plans were dropped. However, the new Congolese government did not completely abandon the idea, and when Mobutu Sese Seko seized control over the country in 1965, he quickly advanced the plans. In 1968, construction started on Inga 1, a 351-megawatt hydroelectric power station just west of Inga Falls.
But today, DRC Congo are the people actually who are most of the times in the dark. This is the country, despite having, of course, the largest second river globally, looking at the megawatts capacity of electricity it can actually supply, looking at the depth and how long it is, and how many countries it can connect actually. Because you can hear, actually, we're not talking about countries, we're talking about the whole of the African continent. It has the capability of powering the whole of the African continent. This is just so crazy. But today, DRC Congo is one of the countries that is moderately in the dark. Make it make sense.
Not long after its completion in 1972, construction commenced on Inga 2, a second phase 1.4 gigawatt station just 1 kilometer south of the first one. These two stations were landmark projects for the DRC, powering local population centers in the country's mining industry. Still, though, they only harvested 4% of Inga Falls' power. To harvest all of Inga Falls' immense hydroelectric potential, engineers have proposed an enormous project called the Grand Inga Dam. This project would involve the construction of a dam a few kilometers north of Inga Falls to reroute water into the Bundy River Valley. Several smaller dams would be built along this valley, trapping water in to form a roughly 40 square kilometer reservoir.
This is 2 years ago, he's talking about this. And so far, of course, nothing has happened apart from the M23 rebel advancing in different regions of the country and marking territory. There's nothing, none of this construction has happened. We've been reporting about deaths, displacement of the people. We don't talk about the projects that are actually happening in DRC Congo. So this is crazy.
At the southern end of this reservoir would be a lock for ships, along with an enormous 200-meter tall dam. Along this dam, a series of 6 hydroelectric power stations would funnel water through 52 turbines and back into the Congo River, generating a combined 40 gigawatts of power. This would make it the largest hydroelectric power station in the world, almost double the size of the current largest, the enormous Three Gorges Dam in China. The construction of this complex would be completed over the course of several phases. It would take over a decade to complete and would cost an estimated $80 billion US.
And of course, once it's funded by the same people, we're not going to have full control of it. We might still maybe be facing issues with power going out, because they are fully in control, because they're the ones putting in the money. So,
if built, the Grand Inga Dam would provide numerous benefits for the region. First of all, it would single-handedly double Africa's installed hydropower capacity from 38 to 78 gigawatts. And with an estimated generation cost of only 3 cents per kilowatt hour, the project would serve as a cheap source of green energy, fueling economic development.
Green energy, green. But yeah, we've gotten the point. So Congo, of course, is super full of resources. It's very wealthy in terms of mineral resources. And even this is just something that literally the universe has given us everything. It's so sad that we've been lied to. We need the white people to help us and save us. But the time is really up. The time is really up. I love the fact that right now the objective being pushed by African people globally is Ibrahim Traoré should be made the president of Africa, because this is what we've been longing for. Everyone is seeing the change. Everyone is talking about the change. Everyone is commanding change. Not these peace talks that never bring any change for us. We can't keep on having peace talks. For how long have we been seeing Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali having peace talks in ECOWAS? What has ECOWAS helped Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali achieve? Nothing. We've seen only the UN peacekeepers who are there committing literally rape cases that go unjustified to women, to children, both male and female, and none of this is justified. And you want to keep on having these peace talks. Yesterday I was talking about the South Africa troops, the South African troops who did, who went back to their country, because of course they have not been helping. Number one, let's start from there. Who deployed them? Who is supporting the deployment? Who is funding their deployment? Just the same thing we've seen actually with Kenyan troops being deployed to Haiti. Who is receiving all the funds? And you look at literally where the funds are coming from. The US was the biggest supporter of this motion. Now we have peace talks. We've been having these peace talks for the longest time. I keep on reporting about peace talks every now and then. Enough is enough.
Congo and Rwanda were expected to submit a draft agreement to end the war in Congo's east Friday. The agreement would be in line with the Declaration of Principles signed in Washington a week ago. Delegations from Kinshasa and Kigali.
This image this. I don't think in the next actually 15 years. I'm not even giving it 20. I feel 15 years. In the next 15 years, if we don't start seeing change of this, then something we're not really woken up yet. Whatever Ibrahim Traoré and which is our biggest, of course, prayer for him to survive all the assassination attempts they're trying to get rid of him. The way they're trying to get rid of him, we hope he survives to literally showcase how Africa has the possibility of making itself rich if you just have great leadership. And if he survives, maybe he can become also the president of Africa. Because this is not an image you need to keep on seeing. In the next, I'm giving it 15 years. The displacement of the people, every now and then we're going to keep on having peace talks. I refuse. I don't want to report about peace talks. We want to see changes. Enough with the peace talks.
They have been meeting in Qatar to iron out their differences. On Wednesday, the U.S. President's Africa envoy, Massad Boulos, joined Congolese, Rwandan, Togolese, and French representatives at the talks in Doha. The draft deal would cover issues such as territorial sovereignty, the fight against armed groups, the mineral trade, refugees, and the role of international forces, particularly MONUSCO. Rwanda-backed rebels took control of 2 provincial capitals in eastern Congo earlier this year, forcing Kinshasa to soften its stance on dialogue with the M23 group.
Bet those talks are not going anywhere. Of course, in the next few months, we might be reporting again the M23 rebel advancing in more different regions. You hear civilians being killed, more children being raped. The same cases they have been having about it in Sudan, or we're having peace talks. The RSF has done this. They have said they're going to do this, but still you see cases of rape, murder, they're still actually advancing. So we don't need any more peace talks. We need a change. We need an Ibrahim Traoré, a man who's putting in action, a man who's actually demanding control of his own country. We can't keep on having these big stomach people who are not taking us anywhere. They're so unhealthy, so unfit actually for leadership. They're unfit. Actually, we should say they are unfit. We don't see, it's funny because we don't see these US presidents and leaders, they don't really have these balloon stomachs. Look at Trump with his evilness. Like this man, I don't know, maybe he's eating salads every now and then, but he's fit. Look at Macron. Look at Obama. It's only the African leaders actually who have these big stomach images. You're unfit for leadership. We don't want you. Karibu sana Keith. I don't know if you're there, but anyway, as we get to continue, shout out to Unsunken One. You're asking if I've been bleaching. Do I look like I've been bleaching anywhere? I don't know what makes you think that, but anyway, shout out to you. You're just living good, life is good, and yeah, that's what's up. And eating good, okay, and living stress-free. That's what's up, you know, and drinking water and minding your business. It makes you glow. So that's why you'll have people like you thinking I'm bleaching. But anyway, Karibu sana Nsankero. I hope you're doing amazing. Karibu Keita. I don't know what's happening on kids' end. But anyway, as we get to continue, I'm going to share, of course, this particular video as we get into more details. This video I wanted to share, but I can't. I don't know if it's Instagram restricting us from sharing the video, or it's the video itself, they don't want it to circulate anymore. I'm just going to share the audio and then... No, I can't hear you, Keith. I can't hear you. You are not really on mute, but I can't hear you. I see you on the stream, but I can't hear you. So yeah, I'm going to share this video here. But before that, let me share this audio because this guy, I can't share his video on the screen.
Africans, both living abroad and within the diaspora, let's not be stupid again. The same playbook they use for Patrice Lumumba, the same playbook they use for Kwame Nkrumah, the same playbook they use for Thomas Sankara, is the same playbook that they are trying to use for Ibrahim Traore. And we cannot let that happen, bro. The action and image that Ibrahim Traore represents is not only a threat to Westerners, but it's a threat to all the leaders in Africa that have been sitting and collecting dust and doing nothing for us.
Exactly.
We are not our
Exactly. They've been sitting.
We're tired of being disrespected.
They've been sitting and just growing their balloon stomach, like I've just said. Look at like for real. It's crazy because thinking about it, I've never thought about it that way. If you look at all these other American, European leaders, all of them, they're very fit. You don't see these balloon stomachs, but these African leaders, I don't know. What's with the balloon stomachs? The only person who doesn't have a balloon stomach here is only Kagame and Ibrahim Traore, shout out to him. And of course, the two other juntas. It's crazy.
And everywhere you go, Africans are getting disrespected. How much longer are Africans supposed to be living in poverty? Being self-sufficient, being independent, being defiant is what the threat is because they know what it represents. I am a proud African as it is, but seeing Ibrahim Traore makes me so much more proud, bro. That's what African leaders are supposed to represent and stand for. Not supposed to be docile, kissing people. Like, what do you carry yourself with some dignity and some pride?
Exactly. Not being bootlickers, going on events where you don't even understand why you're there. You don't even have a timetable of the occasion. You're not even invited. Bootlicking. Trying to act like a good person. Go act like a good person to your own people. But no, you'd rather abduct, kidnap, kill, use your power, commanding the police officers to shoot and kill because you don't want to be held accountable. The time is coming up. Today I just woke up seeing one of the guys who has been abducted because of just publishing an article because of a corrupt leader in our very own country. I'm getting fired up.
We're not supposed to be going around begging for nothing. We don't lack for nothing. Let's get ourselves together, couple our resources, educate ourselves, and get Africa developed the way that it needs to be developed. I know for me, all investments are going to Africa. So this is my call to all Africans. Unfollow all of these gossip pages. If anybody is not talking about something that's moving us forward, you're wasting your time, bro. You're wasting your time.
I've been saying it, and I keep on saying it sometimes. I always feel like, I'm not making sense, but I love the fact that he mentioned that we have sites that actually don't even help us a bit. Okay? Personally, of course, the fact that I have to do entertainment most of the times, I have to follow some of the sites. But if you look at most of the things they're posting, you're like, how is this even beneficial to us as a people? How is this beneficial to us as a people? You should be posting things that are trending. But no, actually, what has happened, every time they even try posting anything that is beneficial or informative to us as a people, that post won't last even 24 hours. It's going to be taken down. How many times do I have to go looking for a video that I saw maybe some time back and I won't find it again maybe after 2 or even a day? Because the bloggers are also getting threatened right now. How is this a sovereign country? How is this an independent country? How is this a democratic country? I want to be strong enough by the time actually Africa is fully getting its liberation. Like strong enough to celebrate this. Strong enough to laugh about it, to go through it. But let me continue.
You're wasting your resources. We don't got no more time to be wasting around, bro. And listen, we cannot leave it to the older generation. I already gave up on a lot of them. Their minds are colonized to the max. Leave them there. We
Exactly.
got the way that it takes to get Africa the way it is now to where it needs to be. Attention to Africans, both living abroad and within the diaspora. Let's not be stupid again. The same playbook they use for Patrice Lumumba, the same playbook they use for...
All right, so yeah, there we go. So that's what he had to say. Exactly. Let us not be fooled again. Africans right now, we're so smart than, back then. We shouldn't be...
Can you hear me now, Joby?
Docile. Exactly. I can hear you, Kate. Karibu sana.
All right, no one have a Sabi Sana. If you guys don't know, tell you about the algorithm. Who controls the... It's not a surprise they now figure out who controls the algorithm. Oh, they found us all the Israelis again that are in YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or new X. All of them are IDF. All of them are IDF. Isn't that incredible? And we're talking about all IDF, which is the Secret Service of the Jays. They're embedded in it. You knew that because all these social medias were created by the CIA, which is part of the Jays, part of the hats. So that's why bull crap gets elevated and thrown out to you, like what they talking about. That's why the numbers are big. When you talk about anything, you either get shadow banned or get completely cut off because those people run this planet. They're embedded in every single one. How is it that the hats are in every social media site as the curators of it, run all of it? You know, people come up, Facebook admitted it. They did all of them. That from the inception of it, since the beginning of them. African content, African knowledge always suppressed. Because you're the wealth of the planet. Like what this man is saying with Joby showed. The disrespect. Africans have allowed disrespect. Hundreds of years you've allowed this disrespect in your place.
But like he said, it's because of the front leaders, number one, we have. We look at the front people we have, they're kiss, like he said, they're bootlickers, always kissing, wanting to kiss the white man's ass. That's you know? True. And it's really pissing right now. Everyone is getting pissed off. Because
there's no way. Because
we just woke up today, people being killed. People are just trying to demand justice in this country. You know, stop stealing our land, stop doing this. I can't even publish anything right. I'm so scared of even posting right now anything online regarding comments, political comments.
Because right now there's an awakening, Joby. You understand that you got choice in your time. I told you it's gonna happen in your time. That you've had and that poverty in Africa is unnatural. It's unnatural. The Africans never knew that they weren't supposed to be poor. But now they're figuring out, took a while, through bad education, over religiosity. And so I told you it was going to be a light. Ibrahim happens to be the light that's going to set the domino effect. That's why all these leaders are trying to kill him behind the scenes, Joby. All these puppets. Have you guys seen that African-American puppet, that bootlick general, was in Kenya either yesterday or the day before posing with Ruto? Isn't that funny? Telling this puppet, listen there, we're going to start forming an army to try to go against Burkina Faso. That's what they're doing behind the scenes. Every one of these puppets are against the Sahel states. You better believe that. And I mean from the fake African Union to all of them. Because they are a threat to white power now. I told you this was going to happen because this is the domino effect. And and if you've seen Africans, they were out everywhere. Mm-hmm. See, this is the wake up. You're not going to put this genie back in the bottle because they wanted to invade the Sahel because this puts the wealth back in Africans' hands, and it's going to go to every African fake country that the white man created. These countries are fake. So the unity now coming back, which they're going to try to stop. That's why you see all these saps on the internet, African Americans against Africans, Africans against African Americans. This is the division they want, but it's not going to work this time because the Africans know now, hey,
exactly,
we're not supposed to be poor.
Exactly. And the fact that we're realizing our numbers are the majority, that's the most amazing part. I just love to see it. And the moment I hope we're just not moving because we're seeing people moving, supporting Ibrahim. I hope we're ready, and people are ready, spirit-wise, to stand and fight. Even if you see bullets, you're ready to stand and fight. We're not going to keep on running away anymore. We're not going to keep on running. I love the fact that right now in Kenya, there's demonstration every single day. And this one
every day. It was one at the university, and they were trying to shoot people.
Yeah, the kidnappings are happening every day because Ruto is being checked every single day. You're not doing this. You're not performing. You said you're gonna do this. Not just him, but also the people who are under him.
You guys are finally holding accountability.
We had the MP we had shot. Of course, details were supposed to come out, and eventually people are supposed to figure out who is behind this. But according to rumors, how they're having it is the current regime that actually is executing the people also going against him.
Yeah. So did he die? That MP that got shot?
He died, Keith. Oh, you shot her. You're gonna survive?
Well, it depends. Yeah, if you get shot sometimes, because you get shot.
You get shot on the head.
I know you got shot in the head, Joe. I know Wayne got shot, Joe.
It's getting really, really crazy. I saw today also some videos and yesterday of the people taking matters into their hands when it comes to police officers, which has been happening. People are refusing to be arrested. People are refusing to be abducted. People are refusing to see their own person being abducted. They're coming up in numbers and attacking now the people who are coming to abduct you.
That's what
fear is going.
Finally, the fears get set. I told you. You leaders, you're not going to rule Kenya. The way of ruling Kenya is the way you used to is over. They know they're the majority. They're not going to let you just abduct people. Don't do it. It's not you bootlicks who ruled Kenya for 60 years. All of you been understand Kenya. All your leaders were bootlicks from Jomo Kenyatta, and everybody, and mostly all African countries have been bootlicks put there to make sure that wealth, as that white man Joby showed you yesterday, Africa has a road and it's to be poor to make everybody wealthy. See, that's the road. That's why the UN was set up and all the institutions were set up to keep Africans poor and to make sure everybody stays wealthy off of African people. From the Chinese, they said the Chinese know it. The Asians know it. The Europeans know it. The Americans, everybody knows that the main thing in the world is to make sure African people stay poor. But the Africans are no longer going along with this con game.
Mm-hmm. Let me share these videos.
For real, unfiltered updates from across the African continent. Today, disclaimer: this video is for educational and informational purposes only.
It's like an
It
AI
reflects
person.
documented reports, online reactions, and publicly available content. We do not promote violence, misinformation, or hate speech. Viewer discretion is advised. From
It's only hate
Johannesburg to
speech.
Rome,
Africans
from
tell the truth. It's hate speech. Africans say we want our land and want people out of here. Yeah, that's hate speech. But everybody can say N-word and disrespect Africans no matter where they go at. When Africans try to stand up now, it's hate speech. Get out of here.
Ouagadougou to Washington, D.C., history was made as Africans across the world came out in mass numbers
And
to
to
show
understand literally, of course, they control all the platforms and why they wanted to shut down TikTok so bad. This was happening in Kenya, Uganda, Ghana, Nigeria,
It was never,
everywhere.
it was never on the main. Why was it? This is news. Where was BBC and Al Jazeera and all these other people to report this? Because they're not going to report the power of Africa. This is the scary. This is what scares them. See, your unity. Nobody came out and said, I'm this tribe, I'm that tribe. Everybody said they're Africans. We don't care about no borders. You touch Ibrahim, you touch us, it's going. See, this is what Africa's finally been waiting for. I told you, Europeans, you think you're gonna come back and take over Africa? You're not. You will die there. You don't have the numbers to bring your butts back in Africa no more. Talk about no military. Now they're not all awakened. You can't pit one against the other. You're this, you're that. Yo, yes, that's your tribe. Your tribe said that tribe said something about you. The African Americans said something about you. They said this about who cares?
That's what I'm saying. It makes a whole lot of sense, literally, why they wanted to shut down TikTok and
of course.
Why, because right now TikTok, of course, is one of the platforms that people have the ability to share anything, without, of course, you're gonna be censored too if you're not careful, but you can share most of the videos, unlike how you can do it on, YouTube and these other platforms, and you being shut down or being shadow banned. You can get numbers very quick. Your videos will be getting literally, a lot of audience and at the same time engagement if people relate to what you're saying. So this, of course, it's a bigger threat. It makes sense. And looking at Africa right now uniting, it should even threaten them more, because the more we're seeing this, the more the fear is getting loose. People are gonna it's no longer gonna be like what that lady was saying, trauma. We're no longer gonna go back to the trauma they have made us go through. That trauma is gonna make us be fired up. Okay, we're not gonna I'm scared, I don't want to be shot because someone. You shot someone. I'm getting out. I have a reason to go out in the months. I have a reason to call you out.
That's what's happening. The Africans losing their fear.
Next should be Museveni and Kagame, but Kagame has kept his people so dumb. I don't know, he's dumb.
Wait, he's kept them. He really kept them dumb. I think they know, Joe. But they know when you go in the. They know, Joe. When you go,
it's crazy. in every African country, this is happening. Despite us seeing even the arrest, it's happening. But Rwanda, we've not seen anything.
Because they're not allowed, because Joby, he rules Rwanda with an iron fist. He rules it with an iron fist, Joby. You know, when I send you down there, you're gonna see it. The first, that's what Cammy's seen. The first, this place is a police state. Cammy, this place is a police state. I thought Kenya was bad. This is nothing. This place is. And then Cammy's like, where's all? The Cammy's like, where's all the money coming from around here?
That reminds me of me having an argument, the political argument, just this week with some of my friends, and we're talking about trying to make them understand what is happening in Burkina Faso, and if Kenya, if we had a real coup, of course, like the white people will call it, a real coup, the possibilities of our being led. And then someone was telling me, if a coup was to happen in Kenya, we're not gonna live the way we'd wish to live, the way we're living right now. We're going to be in the system, like you say, the iron fist type of a system, Kagame type of thing.
Depends on if you got a real coup or a fake coup. Kagame was installed there.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to explain, because there's the real coup and the fake coup. And like what you can see in Gabon, the junta is there. It's not doing anything. That's exactly. You're not doing anything by the people. It's you actually using your power to keep control. Because you
understand, Joby, that's still the same family. How you gonna have a coup in the same family?
Exactly. It's the extension of nepotism. You just overthrew your cousin, maintaining the same family.
That's why it was fake, Joby. See, they do pressure valve. They know people get upset, so they try to relieve the pressure by giving you a fake coup. Say, yeah, we're getting freedom, yeah, but it's all fake.
I was trying to make them understand. I feel like right now the only reason why we can't really have someone trying to attempt overthrowing or getting Ruto out of the office, because last year we saw the general who actually was in charge of command. He died, mysteriously. The chopper caught fire.
They mysteriously got rid of his ass.
And now they're saying that I think I've seen a video which was saying the Kenya Defense Forces does not have a commander. So meaning Ruto is the one calling the shots. I'm not sure he's a commander, but according to a video I saw, he doesn't have a commander. He's the one calling the shots.
He's the commander, Joe. He's making sure. He said he's protecting us. So he makes sure there's no power that he does not control in Kenya. So he doesn't want a commander. He wants it loose. Say, well, why haven't you put anybody in that office yet? Like, well, I don't want to yet. So he's the president. So he's making sure there's no funny business that's going to overthrow him. So you're right. He's not going to be stupid. He's not gonna, he's controlled by the West. Why you think, like I said, the American general, you think it's controlling Kenya's military? It ain't Ruto. It's America and Britain. They control Kenya's military forces.
But anyway, let me play out this video.
Unwavering support for Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. It was a global event that echoed a powerful message. Africa is rising.
What they want?
People are reclaiming their voice.
What the hell she want?
The Africa News Channel joined the people of Burkina Faso and President Captain Ibrahim Traore himself in saying thank you to every single person who stood up for justice and sovereignty.
Yeah, this was happening, you can see, in Uganda, Ghana, Italy, Togo, Tanzania, shout out to them, Kenya, Angleterre, I don't know what's there, Gabon, in the US, in Jamaica, yeah.
They're letting you know you're not gonna kill no more decent leaders. You're not kill. See, they're not gonna kill none of their puppets. See, they're saying we're not gonna let you kill any more Patrice Lumumba's, any more they keep saying Gaddafi, but I don't put Gaddafi in there. But Gaddafi and Kwame Nkrumah and Thomas and Carter. We're not gonna just allow you just to murder them no more. And we now the Africans understand why you murder them, why the good leaders die and these puppets stay for 40 and 50 years, as Joby say, getting a balloon stomach. But they, you never no problem with them
Exactly.
See, so because Africa was designed, guys, as the Europeans always came from poverty. When they got like, wow, Africa's so rich, let's steal it. They wanted to do to Africa like they did to Australia, New Zealand, America, everywhere they went. See, the thing was to kill the African off. Well, you got white people in Northern Africa, and you got the white people in Southern Africa. They're supposed to go all the way through Africa and wipe it out.
Mm-hmm.
The Africans happen to be too strong.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen Uhuru Kenyatta lately? How he looks like?
No, I haven't seen.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
He looks like Jabba the Hutt.
Oh my god! He looks like some chitlins full of lots of water. A hanged chitlin. When you put it on some water, that is what it looks like.
Surged. A moment that has sent shockwaves across the internet came during a recent interview with Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. In a bold and unexpected move, she publicly criticized France for its continued economic hold over its former African colonies through the CFA franc system, a currency printed.
Understand? The Franks are Germans. All right, understand? The French are German. See, all you think these are Germanic people? They're all wicked. Look at English, they're German. You have a Germanic tribe that were savages, and they reached out. This is when you get the creation of European countries. The French are Germans, the British are Germans, the Dutch are Germans. Of course, the Germans are Germans, the Spanish are Germans, the Portuguese were Germans. So you got this wicked ass bloodline of Germanic people. They call Germanic people who are you got to go back to chimpanzee culture and go back to their culture as Germanic people, the tribes that they were, the viciousness, the theft, the thieving, the greed, as they took over Europe. Because remember, these white people not even indigenous to Europe. They invaded Europe. They're really from Asia. These white people invaded Europe and killed off the black population there. See, that's never told. The original people of Europe were Africans. They murdered them all. Okay, we didn't even know that. Okay, these Europeans who claim Europe, got the white, those are not in their country. They came in and stole those lands. The Germanic tribes come from Asia. They come into Europe killing, stealing, robbing. And so the branch of the Germanic people called Franks, which can become the French, their bloodline is we're talking about Charlemagne the King Charlemagne. That's I forgot the name of that bloodline, but their bloodline is so wicked, so evil. So that's what you see when France got their part of Africa, what they installed there. The poverty, the theft, the absolute cruelty. And we see we call it the because the Franks. What bloodline is the Frank? What bloodline was Charlemagne? The myth, because your people talking about the Medici, those were Italians. What were the bloodlines of the Franks? Go ahead, Joby.
And controlled by France. Meloni called out this system as a tool of modern colonization and voiced her support for Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Her statement has raised eyebrows and sparked fierce debates.
Questo si chiama franco CFA. È la moneta coloniale che la Francia stampa per 14 nazioni africane, alle quali applica il signoraggio e in forza delle quali sfrutta le risorse di questa nazione. Questo è un bambino che lavora in una miniera d'oro per il Burkina Faso, che ha l'oro, la Francia stampa moneta coloniale.
Solidarity with Africa's struggle for freedom, or is it part of a more calculated strategy from within Europe? Could it be that some European nations are now realigning themselves as allies in Africa's liberation movement? Or are they simply looking for new avenues of influence? Meanwhile, back in Burkina Faso, the people are speaking louder than ever. During yesterday's mass protests in multiple cities, the youth of the nation sent a direct and powerful message to U.S. General Michael Langley. Their chant was clear: keep your hands off our leader. These messages come amid swirling online rumors and fears of a possible Western-backed attempt to destabilize Traoré's leadership, a fear that many feel is not unfounded, given Africa's historical experience with foreign intervention.
Yes, the same lies are not working anymore. We're smarter than ever. We are exposed than ever. We know real history of who we are, where we come from, the history of Patrice Lumumba and your fake puppets that you've installed after the real leaders. So the time is really up, like for real, for real. That is why people need to, you need to pack your bags and go. You need to pack your bags and go, because again, like you heard from that lady, you're dealing with a generation that is hungry and angry. A generation that is willing to fight, to stand up. Not like what we were discussing yesterday. Someone saying, today's generation, people are not patient. Today's generation are not like our parents. Yes, I'm not your parents. Don't expect me to have the characters of your parents or my parents.
We talking about patience. Africans have been stolen from for the last 400 years. How long do I got to wait some more to get my stuff back? 400 more years? What are you talking about? Patience is over. What do you mean patience? That sound crazy. Patience for what? To stay in poverty? Yeah, what are you talking about? Patience is what we've been patient. We've been 400 years of poverty put by people who are wicked and evil. So what the heck are you talking about? We're not supposed to stay there.
Exactly.
It's too late. That's what Africans are known for, being docile. Things not ever doing, staying in poverty for hundreds of years, which they have done. So the patience is supposed to have been over. That's the whole thing. The docility has to end. That's what you see ending. So it's way past time talking about patience.
Time is up. Exactly. Time is up, and Africans are waking up and demanding accountability. We're not going to keep on seeing you, your generation to generation getting wealthy. They have acres of land stolen from my generation, and you want to claim that this is democracy? How is this democracy? How is this a democratic country?
There are no democratic countries. That's the scam. Exactly right. There are no democratic countries nowhere on the planet.
At this point, also, Africans, we need to start understanding that the International Criminal Court, of course, is not here to give us justice that we're demanding.
No.
Of course, Kenyans, to be specific, every time they're like, the Hague,
That's what the Africans were supposedly creating their own court in Arusha, Tanzania. Anybody's never got built. Almost never got built. Never got built.
You need to call Ruto for all the crimes he's committed. Why is he a president from the word go? That the Hague has to. Why didn't the Hague actually check on him when he was vying for the presidential seat?
They did know. Do you remember they took him when they released because he was going to be their puppet?
What I'm trying people. Africans need to start understanding these people are not here to help us or benefit us.
No.
It's not. They're not.
Well, they're learning now, Joe. You understand? Africans have been purposely with all the rest of the world, but Africans specifically, because as well, have been given bad education and then paying for bad education. So you giving propaganda. That's why in Africa it's mandatory you learn the Quran and the Bible. This nonsense that keeps you impoverished. Stuff that has nothing to do with technology, learning way to push you forward, who's your enemies, who's supposed to be leading you. Nah, you're supposed to keep your head in a book in a goopy Bible. That's coming to an end. That propaganda is coming to an end. People that bring the Bible, why don't they got it in their schools? Why don't they have to force them to do it every day in their school?
Exactly. You can't keep on reading the Bible while we're still stuck in this situation. Why isn't God helping us, Why isn't the God I'm praying to is not helping? This is DRC Congo. This is people are mining, This is people digging cobalt for someone who's making billions.
This is not AI. This is not AI. This is the Congo. Yeah, they're making billions of dollars, but they're paying people nothing because you've been allowed yourself to be exploited. You're talking about patience. This has been going on for hundreds of years now. Since this moronic king of the Congo gave access to Congo to Europeans. This moron, this idiot. Whatever his name was, King, they changed it into King Alfonso, whatever goopy name he had.
That's why I started with the information telling us that Congo has the capacity to supply the whole of Africa with constant electricity through its river. That is the second largest river in the whole world.
So nobody, exactly. Why has it never been done? Everybody knows the Congo Congo can feed everybody in the world, let alone Africa. Congo give likes to all Africa steady, easy, cheap, Joe, cheap electricity. Why has it not been done? Because that white man told you, because it's not supposed, they're not going to do, because you're supposed to be poor.
I was saying, even I was the video I was sharing here, they were talking about how they're gonna fund the project and all that, and I'm like, that's where we go wrong, because the moment they fund the projects, that's when they fully take control and hijack the whole idea. So it doesn't work according to how you literally wish to for it to serve your own people. This is why we have these problems. Always being funded everything while we have the resources are already here, for crying out loud.
Exactly. But you don't think one thing about investment and funding when Africa is the funding of the world.
What are you funding me with? Why are you giving me fake papers to do what? And I have everything. It's not making sense at all. You need to start thinking. Why is someone giving me a bunch of papers to do what? I have water. I have all the logs. I have literally everything I need. You have the people.
Because you ain't because now, Joe, most didn't figure it out like you. Didn't know that, yeah, you give me fake paper for my real materials.
This is just
it's the biggest scam ever created by the hat.
It's sad because that's the same scam nowadays. Even they don't even give you the papers. Now they are coming, taking your lands. They're not telling you, no, this piece of land is worth $1,000, and you, because you're foolish, not understanding the generational wealth you're selling,
Land. Yep.
Give away the land. Then it comes, snaps you, oh, I don't have a land. Now you want to, you go back to paying rent while you should have actually built a home in your own very own land. You're back to the system while you were actually free from the system. It's just super insane, man. But Africans, we need to wake up. This is just so sad. I feel like today's news have just saddened my heart. I'm just waking up to seeing people dead, people being abducted, then you see the capacity of wealth we have, and people are just mismanaging
it shouldn't sadden your heart.
Resources.
It shouldn't sadden your heart, because you see the change is happening right in your time. So imagine your grandparents and your parents and your great grandparents who didn't have. You might have one person woke out of millions, and exploitation was all the time. And you were the one person that knew that it was terrible. Nothing you could do about it, because most of your people were asleep. As the shaman said, sleep backwards and stupid. So, so they went underground. So you're in a great revival now. So this is.
I feel like the saddening part is because part of reality I'm also living is I'm a bigger threat also to them because of the things I talk about.
Of course.
The person who just saw this morning being abducted. This guy is like he was just minding his business or went for shopping on a mall. He's been abducted in a mall. How do you get abducted in a mall? In a mall.
It's showing how criminal it is, because you do that job when you're scared. And it means the regime is scared, because there's no more. And we do something that brazen, that in public. It means the regime is scared that it's going to be toppled. It's going to be toppled soon. So that's why you say, well, it's all or nothing now. We got to just start kidnapping people right in people's faces. So whenever something becomes this brazen, it means behind the scenes you got panic, Joby. You got fear.
It's crazy, but it's going to come to an end. Anyway, this is where we come to the end of today's conversation. I wish you guys a beautiful day. Wishing, of course, Africans the best globally, because we deserve it. It's crazy because this is what they want us to live through, always complaining, always whining. Like you say, they don't want to see us happy.
No, your joy brings them absolute they get upset with your joy. So that's what you're seeing now. So yeah.
Anyway, much love, family. Have yourselves a beautiful day. Shout out to you, Byron Scott. I see you, and to all the silent listeners. Hope you guys get to enjoy the rest part of your day. But of course, come back. Iwaton is coming back with her show. Let's pop and see what's popping. And second one, you still have to tell me why you think I'm bleaching. Do I look like I'm bleaching? Can you, are you crazy? Are you drinking some moonshine that is making your eyes blur, or what's up? But anyway, much love, family. Have yourselves a beautiful day. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. See you guys, of course, later also on the rhythm.
I don't think Vanessa Williams is bleaching. She was already light skinned. Vanessa Williams was already light skinned. What you mean? She's light skinned. She already was a light skinned Negro. What are you talking about?
Exactly. What are you talking about? This has always been my complexion. What are you talking about? Like, is it the makeup or what's up?
Vanessa Williams was always a light skinned Negro.